Okay, hello YouTube. I'm gonna play a 3-minute game, and maybe we'll take a look at it after. I don't know. Depends if it's interesting or not. So far it's a Sicilian, open Sicilian. Uh, okay, so Bishop C4. Okay, funny story behind this move. I came up with this move, Bishop C4, when I was a kid, and I played it against a guy named Jack Yost, who was like this 2400 Blitz player, and I played it in a whole bunch of Blitz games against him. And the conclusion that I came to afterwards was that this move Queen A5 check basically refutes it, and I still hold true to that today. He didn't find that in the game, by the way. He played Knight takes E4, and then it's actually pretty interesting. Like Bishop F7, King F7, Queen H5 check is pretty interesting. But if you play Queen E5 and then play Knight takes E4, if you play Bishop takes F7, you don't have the follow-up with Queen H5 because the Queen covers it. Maybe he'll still play it, though. That'd be awesome. Not yet. Come on, go for it, go for it. Nope, nothing. Okay. Now we'll just play D5. We'll block his bishop, we'll hold our knight, and life is good. This position is marginally hilarious. We'll retreat, hitting his bishop, and we're just up the queen pawn here. So this was kind of the crux of the preparation of Queen A5, was that eventually Black just enjoys an easy position where he's up a pawn. And I think there is a way for White to play without losing material, but not one for... I mean, Black gets at least easy equality, if I remember correctly. But I'll show you kind of the theory behind Queen A5 right after this is over with. But that I figured that out before computers. Okay, so now obviously Black wins. He could have just resigned. That was another move there. It was resignation, just letting you know. My opponent has left the game. That's an alternative to resignation. Okay, claim victory. Okay, cool. We wanted to claim victory anyway, just because this is what we want to look at. So this move, Bishop C4, this is cute. If we go back, this move, Bishop C4, it's kind of an interesting idea. You see the computer actually recommends Knight takes C4. But it's a little entertaining. Like, see, Magnus Carlsen actually tried this with White. Against Ian Nepomniachtchi, of all people. Okay, I knew me and Magnus had a lot in common. He was willing to give this a shot with the white pieces. But yeah, people are trying Queen H5 here. They're trying to play Queen H5 here with White. And sort of the idea is that you have this threat against F7, and you have to play a move like E6, and then, yeah, there's, like, enormous threats in this position. So let's look at this Carlsen-Nepomniachtchi game. I'm sure that this is the theory. So he tried Knight E6. Whoa. That's way beyond anything I would have tried. That's a little crazy. So Bishop E6, Bishop takes E6. This is entertaining. But yeah, no, Black is better here. So this is interesting. Okay, fine. Yeah, but we can clearly see Black's better. And then Queen F7, and Black is completely winning. When did he try this, I wonder? What was the tournament? What was the... Oh, was this... That is the game, right? Okay, so what was the tournament? Yeah, it doesn't really cite the tournament in Lichess. Okay, so let's go back. Because my original idea behind this was after Knight takes E4, my intention, and please take notes, Magnus, my intention was Bishop takes F7, King takes F7, and then Queen H5. With the idea of getting back the piece, because if G6, we're going to play Queen D5, and of course, if King G8, the same thing. King G8, Queen D5 check, E6, and then Queen takes E4. And the position itself, and amazing, there's no games on the database with this. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so my idea is still good today, obviously. But this was my original idea. As you can see, the assessment is just, it's unclear. It's not like Magnus's idea where the assessment was -3. So my idea is clearly better than Magnus's. But yeah, Bishop F7, we give up the bishop pair, but in exchange, Black has 3 pawn islands. Black's king is not developed correctly. It's sitting on the G8 square, and White has 2 pawn islands, and he has 2 active pieces in exchange. So everything should even out. White should have more than enough compensation for the slight detriment of not having the bishop pair. So that was kind of the idea, was this Bishop F7 move. But the conclusion that I came to back then, and again, this was before computers, was the conclusion that I came to, and let me go back to my game. The conclusion that I came to back then was that this move, Queen A5, was very strong. So the idea behind Queen A5, and it looks like nobody's played this on the Masters database either, was that this changes things because it gets rid of the possibility of Queen H5 completely. So one of the ideas is, like, if they play Bishop D2, for example, is you can bring the queen to C5 and that attacks both of these pieces at the same time. And that doesn't leave white with a great option. Like, they can play this Bishop D5 check, but then, we can simplify. We can simplify with either Knight C6 or, Bishop D7. It doesn't matter because they have to take, and then takes, and then they have to move their knight again. And then we simply make a queen move, and this should just be advantage black. Black has more development, and white's given up his light-squared bishop, which is never good in an open Sicilian. So the other way that they can play this is kind of the way my opponent played it, either with knight c3 or pawn c3. Now, on pawn c3, I can take on e4, no problem, because I'm covering that h5 square, so there is no bishop takes f7 or queen h5. So now after castles, I'm going to play I developed with knight c6, so that maybe knight f6 was better. Although my opponent, he ended up simplifying and making life very easy here, so now I'm just keeping the clean pawn, which worked out pretty good. And obviously, I won. But I guess the other thing that they could try is they could try knight c3. But again, this is a little different. So knight c3, knight takes e4. I'm taking here, but I don't have the problem of queen h5. Although it's interesting because queen f3 is a possibility, but then knight f6, and yeah, everything looks a-okay here. Everything looks cool. Black is doing okay. Black has the extra pawn, but it's actually a mountain of development. I guess this is the way to make queen a5 is knight c3. Just let them take the pawn and just get crazy amounts of development. This makes me want to play bishop c4 again, honestly. Looking at this, it makes me kind of want to revive my old bishop c4 move, but not play Magnus's idea. Play my original idea of meeting knight takes e4 with bishop f7, and maybe meeting queen a5 with knight c3. It's a gambit I might have to revive one of these days. Anyways, so that's how to meet this quirky bishop c4 move that I came up with, independent of Magnus Carlsen, over 20 years ago, when I was a young player. So I hope you found this video entertaining. Hope you found the ideas in the video helpful. Hope you learned something new about chess. Hope you can use these ideas in your own games. Thank you very much for watching.